Banner. Hello, everybody. We are live. It is Revenge of the Fifth. Oops. Ah! It'd be great if I could type right. Nope. Facebook freaked out again. Oh, wait. Let me.
No, I think we're okay.
Remove. It's showing as broken.
Oh. On my end, it looks connected.
Yeah, I'm going to save change. I'm going to add this one. And I'm going to add it back. There we go. Now it's fixed. Yeah, I found out that with Facebook, apparently you can't schedule it more than a week in advance or the API fails. So I'm probably just going to need to remove and add back every week. It's good times, guys. Good times.
Thanks a lot, Facebook.
Yeah, so just...
Oh, and oops, that's not it. Let me fix the
radio. I'm updating the thingy. Did it?
Oh, you're doing it. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's like it kept changing. I'm like, no, there you go.
Cool. All right, y'all.
Hello. All right. So it
watching from YouTube.
Yeah, we've got a little light cider over here. I don't know which way it's gonna show. I'm just gonna do this.
That's my dark cider. Wait. That's
mine is the thing is I'll point this way towards you, but then because my camera's mirrored on YouTube, it's gonna show that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm the other side of what you're pointing. Yeah. So
hello everybody. We're just gonna talk a little bit about Revenge of Fifth, Star Wars cosplay. We'll talk a little bit about how Free Comic Book Day went yesterday, and then also an event that we decided to attend at the Sky Sail Lounge because more and more places now are starting to host Star Wars parties, realizing that May the 5th is getting more and more popular, or May the 4th, sorry, is getting more and more popular. And so they're, okay. There's actually an event, I think at midnight tonight, celebrating Revenge of the Fifth at Endgame in Mesa called Revenge of the Synth, and it was like a rave, and it started exactly at midnight so that it was on May 5th.
Oh, shoot. Geez. Okay. Oh, that makes sense because some people were leaving the karaoke to go to Endgame. I was like, really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's probably what they were going to. So more and more places are beginning to come up with more Star Wars themed like raves, costume parties, special events. But we figured we'd talk a little bit about Star Wars. I've got a bunch of photos that I can share with you guys on like costumes I've done over the years. And then we could also talk about how well Free Comic Book Day went yesterday as well, because it just so happened that Free Comic Book Day, May the 4th, aligned this year. So it was a very interesting get together, but it was fun too. And it was really, it was great getting to have all of the unique communities come together. You All right, so I'll introduce myself.
Ryan just turned on my living room television with us on it, and it's
I was wondering what that sound was. I'm Thermo Cosplay. I've been cosplaying since 2014, so this year makes my 10th year, and I am wearing a very warm polyester. I might have to turn my fan on. If you guys end up hearing it, let me know. But I might have to turn it on because I am getting very warm. So.
Jinx. Hi, Cool Gamer. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. I'm Jinx Cosplay. Sorry, I've been MIA a lot. I am in the process of buying a house, selling and buying a house, so I'm pretty busy. And that's my dog back there making noise, if you can hear him. Crunchy, crunchy, crunch. I surprisingly, I don't have any Star Wars cosplay. I had one time. I made Kira's black dress from Solo. And I'm sad that they haven't continued the Solo series. I mean, I think they should continue it into a TV show. Like, why not? But I liked that movie. I know a lot of people didn't. But then I ended up selling that outfit. So I definitely need to make another one sometime soon. But I do have my shirt because, my shirt from my visit to Tatooine. So, Hi. I know Sam's got a billion Star Wars cosplays, so you're probably gonna be dominating
I have
this
a
for sure.
lot. Yeah. This is a Jedi, though, but the Nagai were usually associated with Sith because they look kind of evil. Same problem with like the Zabrak and what Darth Plagueis's race was, I'm forgetting. But they have very like stark, harsh features, so a lot of people thought they were evil, even though most of the time they weren't. And there's even another race that's equally pale and has like these little tentacles that come out of their mouth, and they're known as the vampire race because they can absorb emotions and energy from people. So they were considered inherently evil, even though they weren't. So it was one of those things that like even in Star Wars there is prejudice. I liked to I have a tendency of taking the characters that you would assume not to be Jedi and turn them into Jedi, because I was like, why not take a Nagai that's usually associated with Sith lords and turn it into a Jedi? Why not? But this
Now,
is
when
a
was
very
that? Make 2017?
I believe that was the first, or was 2016? No, it was 2016 because that was at Tucson Comic Con 2016. So it was the first time I ever did a Star Wars outfit.
Okay, you just posted it on 2017.
Yeah, I just posted it on the 27th because it was May the 4th.
Very
So,
cool.
but yeah, no, it was November of 2016 when I did this, and I think it was this last day or
Hannah
second to the
says
last
if
day of
you
the
carry
con.
Hannah says if you can carry a lightsaber, always go for that character. Yeah, I need to
Right?
get myself like an Ultra Saber's lightsaber. Yeah. Maybe that'll be my next thing this year.
Yeah, I like being the character that you least expect. It amuses me. And then I did actually do a dark character at UwuCon last year, so I was actually Admiral Thrawn, and I'm working on updating that right now. Because I want the outfit, what the material was made. I just purchased it a few weeks before, didn't get time to tailor it, and the material it was made out of was like, I couldn't tolerate the texture of it, so I'm going to be making it more out of a spandex that I can reinforce that will be easier in multiple weather types. Because that was just so overwhelmingly hot.
And you were
It
very
was
blue.
a suede that was lined with satin that also
Yeah.
had reinforcement. It was so hot.
I know we always remind people, but like Thermo and I live in Arizona, so even in October, like this was the last weekend of October. Even that weekend of October is still really freaking hot. Like even yesterday, we were at the Free Comic Book Day, and it was 89 degrees, so it wasn't as hot as it's been, but it was still pretty warm. So
That's me. Well, that's not me
your
in Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Mando Merida.
Mando Merida mashed up.
Yep. And I did that a couple years ago. I still have it. I just need to fix up the skirt because I've lost enough weight that it's like too big in the back. Thankfully, it's corset, so I just need to move it out a little bit more so I can cinch it in tighter. But yeah, stuff that happens over time. These are Free Comic Book Day photos, so let me move past those. But I've also done with Star Wars, like again, let me find the other. So this is another race that people are kind of, they're called the Zeltron. And the hood was provided by the cosplay company, and they have some really cool reversible hoods that I recommend. They work really well for like Assassin's Creed characters or Star Wars characters or kind of anything. Like they
They
probably
have a
work really
couple
well
more
for.
options since
They have a lot
they
more.
have a
They
couple
even
more
have some
options since they have,
Dune items now too. Yeah.
good.
So, but this is a
Yeah, I
Zeltron,
really like that one. That
and they're,
color was really good.
yeah, that species is more like humanoid. But they're kind of like the Twi'lek, where they're like really exploited. um, so they tend to be more smugglers and criminals just because it's the only way that they can get out of the situations that they are typically bred into. But Star Wars has a bunch of aliens. If you're ever interested, I always recommend checking out Wikipedia. They have some good canon and good legends material. So if you're ever curious about Star Wars histories, because I know a lot of the times if you're just a person who's a casual observer who watches the movies, or even if you play the games, they don't always go into a lot of the backgrounds of the aliens that they expose you to. And so I love that Wikipedia gives you more background and explains why these characters are present in this particular setting.
And you do a Aliens of Star Wars panel.
Yes. I do an Aliens of Star Wars panel.
Yeah.
I mean, I could bring up the presentation today if we want to run through some of the aliens that are really cool. My favorite is this alien species. It kind of reminds me of a parasite.
I'd love to do an alien, but it's just like
it's a lot of work.
What's that?
It's a lot of work.
Being an alien?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being an alien is a lot of work.
Post them up, and then maybe we can talk about how to like make the costume, or what you would do to be, to be the alien. We can do that too.
Yeah.
I know you do a ton of aliens. How many different Twi'leks have you done? Like how many different iterations?
Different colors? I think I've done 4 or 5 different colors for Twi'lek.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had my friend Imagine Minnie, because sometimes you want to be a character but you don't want to go all out, right? So Imagine Minnie was even really sweet, and crocheted me some Leku that I could wear when I was not feeling like wearing my entire silicone set. So like the end of the day, if I need to take my heavier headpiece on.
Yeah, last night we did cosplay karaoke, and it was, of course, May the 4th themed, and Gin and Tonics had a pair of Leku, and she's like, I just made these today. And we're like, oh, what? And so she, just stuffed some pantyhose, took some,
Yeah, that was my first pair of Leku. I took a pair of pantyhose and I stuffed it with, I took a pair of pantyhose, stuffed it with polyfill. At the bottom, I think I put a little bit of like those beads and sand so that it would have some weight and wiggle. And then I just made a headband, because you don't even have to bind it. It makes it so much easier. Yeah. Or you could take and buy a really nice pair of Leku, and you could pull pantyhose over them and change the color however often as you want.
That's a really good idea, because now they've got even like Amazon, like not Amazon brand, but on Amazon there are some cheaper brands of stockings that are quite opaque. So, or you can go the route of We Love Colors, and those are like completely opaque. So very cool.
But yeah,
so that's Amber Bright props.
Yep.
In her own Darth or Sith.
Darth Talon.
Wait. Not like, Darth Talon.
Yeah, and it was funny because her husband and I think I painted her. I think I was painting her back, and her husband was painting the front of her.
But nice. It looks good though.
Mark Evenson on the right. Yeah, I had a dual lightsaber at that point in time. I don't have it anymore. I gave it to a little kid. So.
Aww. And that was shot somewhere around Arizona, right?
Yeah, it was at near Apache, the desert mountain. Oh, why am I forgetting the mountain's name? South Mountain.
And what's nice about Arizona, of course, is we've got lots of desert landscape to shoot in, and in between here and San Diego are the actual dunes where they shot. I think, which one did they shoot? Tatooine, right? The sand dunes of Tatooine.
Yeah.
So we know a lot of people that have gone down there and shot. I haven't been down there to shoot yet. Now it's too hot. Like, you have to go during the winter time, because it's literally a desert, like just sand dunes, sand everywhere, and hot sun. So only one sun.
And then I had to share Lena as a little Empire Twi'lek. Yes. Even the Empire has adorable little pink Twi'leks. I think one of the funniest. I have to show before we. What was it? What?
Huh. Cute.
We're like, what are you doing?
And so talk about where you got your both those two Twi'lek ears things. What are
The
they
ear
called?
cones or the laku?
Yeah.
So my
The one that you
laku,
and
the
Lena are
ones
both
that
wearing. Talk
are
about those.
yeah, so the laku that I wore for those ones that I got that are silicone, I got them from Twi'lek Pam. The latex free laku that I had, I received from Amber Bright Props when she was first experimenting with making them. And then I have another pair, the pair that Thermo Sidekick was wearing, the pink ones. Those were actually purchased from Amazon by Xcauser, and they're this really horrible pale blue. So we cut open the inside of them, stuffed them more, added a little bit of sand at the bottom of them, and then we spray painted them with a flexible rubber paint. And that's what we have for her. And they were only like $30. So like the ones for Twi'lek Pam are about 150, 160, but there is another company called Angel of Azarath on Instagram that is beginning to sell Leiku batches in silicone, and Angel of Azarath will post on their page and let you know how many batches they have available. And they're starting to print different colors, and they're more of like a Hera style, so they're set easier on the side, so they have better balance and weight. But the difference is if you're doing the Xcauser one from Amazon, which are pretty inexpensive, just know that they're really hard and tough. They're stiff, so there's no flexibility in them. They do have they're latex on the outside, but the inside of them is lined with the silicone. I put additional lining on the inside of them because I have sensitivity to latex. And so I can still wear them, but I had to seal the inside of them to prevent it from getting contact with my skin. And they work really, really well. There's also, I believe that the current pair that I have is from Disney. Disney's also selling Laku now, and the Laku come even with a headpiece. And the inside of them is lined with the silicone oil so that anyone who has a latex allergy can still wear them. And they're really nice. So the Disney Store Laku are actually really nice. They're a little stiff, but they do move. You can put them over your shoulder. So those are good. They do have two sizes. I think they have an adult and a child size, which is really interesting. And those ones you can also, maybe they're out of stock right now, but those ones you can also paint a different color.
Nope. Interesting. We'll have to search, and I'll do some more searching.
Yeah, we'll find it later. But usually, if you want latex Laku, you can find them between $50 and $100. If you want silicone, you're looking at $150 to $200. To give you an idea of any kind of alien that you want to be in Star Wars, if you're making it out of latex, you probably have 2 to 5 years of longevity with that particular prosthetic, regardless of what it is. But if you're getting it made out of silicone, it can last up to 20 years if you take really good care of it. So I usually go with silicone because that means I can use it over and over and over and over and over again and never have to worry about it falling apart. They're also so much easier to clean. Cleaning latex is really tricky. It dries out easily, so you have to condition it. It's sort of like, it's even more finicky than leather. Like imagine leather has to be conditioned every once in a while. Latex has to be conditioned after every single wear. Or you risk drying it out and having it crack and start falling apart. At least in our area, we're in a really dry, arid environment. If you're in a more moist environment, you might be okay. Like if you have more water or humidity, it would probably last a little bit longer, but you're still going to be at risk for, like, in your instance, probably mold. So you want to try and keep it clean and dry at all times.
So Amber doesn't have any Leku on her shop right now. Oops, but she does have, let me see.
These are the Xcauser ones that we just painted pink.
And they were blue, so the pink looks really good.
They were very pale blue. Mm-hmm. And then I also made a Mandalorian one time for a retired veteran. I made a lot of the and the chest pieces. A lot of this was made out of like just using Sintra. And then the back piece, the jetpack, is actually made out of, like, the top part is a child's plastic egg. There were 2 soda bottles. There's 2 rubber balls in here. There's a lot of foam, and because I wanted to keep it lightweight because the veteran was walking with a cane. So I kept the only part that was plastic was the back piece and the arm were made out of Sintra. And then pretty much everything else had foam elements in an attempt to make it easier for him to wear. So you don't even have to go very expensive with your Mandalorians too. You can just use floor mats and bottles and all kinds of things. Like I took those cheap like plastic tubes for protecting photo prints and had them as the cylinders on the side too. So
nice. Awesome. Yeah, I was just gonna share Amber's shop real quick because she doesn't have any Leku for sale right now, but she does eventually like add things to her shop. But she does have some excuse me, some Darth Maul horn set that she keeps in stock. So and of course Twi'leks are my type T-shirt just in case you wanted to rep. And then she does offer a pattern for Hera's hat, but I think she's still playing around with
the final version of the Leku, yeah. And the
yeah,
horns are resin cast, so they're pretty durable.
So if you did want to, wow, resin cast in silicone. Wait, no, wait.
No. The horns are resin.
I'm still waking up. Oh, okay. Yeah, so these ones I know are pretty popular. I think she always has these like in stock ready to go, especially during Halloween. I think she gets a lot of orders for these. And that's a pretty good price. So, you get that whole set and they are resin and painted, hand painted, I believe. So, oh, this one. Oh, no, not those ones, these ones. So anyway, yeah, check that out if you ever need, especially with Halloween, get ready to order Halloween stuff now from cosplay shops because they get overwhelmed for sure. And then what was the other one for Twi'lek ears?
The ear cones, Twi'lek Pam.
Twi'lek Pam, okay. Let's see what we can find. Twi'lek Pam. PNS Costume Creations. Twi'lek Leku. All right, so here is Twi'lek Pam. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, and a whole page on, let's throw this in the link in the chat, talks about different kind of Leku. Wow, that's so pretty, that picture right there. I like it. And then painting your Leku. So this is a really great resource.
Yeah, and if you go to her shop, if you look at her shop, she has like different ones that you can purchase. So the ear cones, I think her ear cones are some of my favorite. And you can usually message her.
Ship, so, oh wow.
Yeah, you can. They go really fast. Her ready to ship goes really fast. You can usually message her and get like backup ear cones.
Oh, look, she even has like the matching color in stock. How great! Real Creation Hair Mix. Wow, hair color. Oh, Hera color mix. Oh, wow, nice. That's really smart because one of the hardest things is always to match paint.
Well, if you click on her Leku, she actually, so Twi'lek Pam actually matches, like, yeah, those were but she matches if you click on any of them, she tells you what color, like what best it matches. It'll say, okay, it's light gray and Mayron, or it's this and this, and yeah.
And she even has like the mix to match them.
Yeah, she tells you what company's color best matches her Leku.
Okay, very nice. And then here she's got some add-on designs.
Yeah.
Oh, cute! You can add freckles, tapped freckles. I wonder if there's let's see, hand-painted spots. How cute! Airbrush speckles, very pretty. Wow, so that is like your one-stop Twi'lek shop. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah. And then the other individual I was mentioning, let me pull up their Instagram. And they only do it in batches occasionally. They're like a burlesque performer. Ooh. There we go. So this is Angel of Azarath. And they're starting to learn to make Leku. And so they've got more and more Leku that they even walk you through the process of how they're learning to make all of them and how they did it. and they've begun to offer batches for people, and I managed to claim a batch, so I'll be getting one soon.
Oh, nice. And those are made of what? Latex?
Silicone.
Or silicone? No, you're allergic to latex, right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
But this is a burlesque Twi'lek performer, and oh my goodness, Angel Azarath is can do amazing moves while wearing these laku. So that's how you know that these are like staying on. They're not going anywhere. They're pretty tough. And it's great that Angel performs in them, so you can actually see how they move.
Oh, cool. And where's she based? Where are they based?
I believe Canada? Or no, this might be California. I'm not sure. Like, Tennessee, there you go. Based out of Tennessee. But
okay.
I'm always impressed. So they're a belly dancer that does like burlesque stuff too.
Oh, cool. Nice.
And I just think it's really cool getting to see your own laku that you purchase. Like, oh, that's how they move around. That's how they work. This is exciting, you know? So
So just
awesome.
Side note, like a long time ago, I went to the Star Wars Identities in Austria. I didn't know it was there. I was on a layover. And so when I made my character, this is what appeared. I was a rebel pilot Twi'lek. Never knew. So I guess that means I have to, cosplay that at some point. But yeah, long before I knew like Twi'lek, nerds like Sam and Lena, I was also cast as a Twi'lek. So
just running around little Twi'leks. And then since yesterday was May the 4th, we have to share one of our Cos Talk Live partners, our buddies who helps us out is Amber Bright Props, and she recently shared her Hut Slayer Leia, and she made this Hut Slayer hood out of his skin. No, just well, you don't know. Maybe it is his skin.
It's a hut hide. And that was probably shot out in the dunes, right? Or
yeah, this would have been in the dunes.
I didn't even know when they went out there. Gee.
You could tell it's got some weight to it.
That's cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's probably made a
Don't do it. You could do it.
Was it that I missed what she was doing wrong?
She was trying to get it done right, and so she kept messing up because she kept holding it, and she's supposed to let it go.
Oh, gotcha. That one looked good.
Keeps holding on to it. She's like, I don't know, I'm holding on to it. And then when she tries to move, she broke her prop. Like, she's like, I got it this time. I got it. And then hold and oh.
Oh shoot.
There you go. So you
guys,
doesn't
matter how long you've been cosplaying or how professional cosplay you are, we still have props.
Yeah, it still happens. So I could pull up my let me go get the presentation on the aliens of Star Wars so that we could chat through, if you're wanting to cosplay them, like how you would go about doing it. Where are my slides? Here they are.
Dun, dun. So I think at some point I really need to make a cosplay. It's just hard because I don't really resonate with a lot of the characters. I really like Jyn Erso and I really like Kira. Sadly, they never continued with any more solo movies. I don't know if those are still on the dock. And then of course, the body painting, I can do body painting. I just get really it's so exhausting, which I'm sure Sam can definitely attest to.
Yeah,
she's much more, used to doing it than I am. So whenever I think of body painting, I'm like, oh.
Well, that's why I was excited with the new Twi'lek, laku I got from Angel of Azarath. It's nude skin tone. so I can just do my own skin tone. I might have to like modify my tone a little bit, like it might be more yellow or more peach, so I'll probably have to adjust that with my foundation, but yeah. So I'm sorry, the PowerPoint is processing. If you guys have any questions, please let us know. Happy Revenge of the 5th. While this is processing, why don't we talk a little bit about Free Comic Book Day yesterday? So if you're unfamiliar with Free Comic Book Day, it happens every year. It's usually the first weekend of May. And its libraries and comic book stores across the nation give out free comic books to fans. And now the all of the publishing studios are into it, and so they're starting to make comic books dedicated to the day and not just people choosing the comic books. Like they have comic books that will only release on Free Comic Book Day now.
Yeah, it's really cool. I am sad that I missed out on the Monster High one, but we were there to volunteer and help. So I waited to the end to grab my comic books. Actually, I think I still have I think my collection of other years are here too. Ah! So a couple past comics I can share. And again, like every year now they come out with something different. So this one is Riverdale. So it was based on the show that they put out, the mystery show, not actually there's no Riverdale comic, is there? So it's really cool. I mean, they go all out with these free comics and published specifically for Free Comic Book Day. What's this one? Oh, this is a Star Wars Adventure one. Star Wars Adventure. So very cool. I don't think I've even read this. I think I've just held on to them this whole time. Oh, wait, what's in? Oh, and okay, that was another comic book. I'm trying to find a sample page here. There we go. So these are all like high quality stuff. It's not just cheaply printed stuff. And then they'll put comics of stuff that like don't usually have comics. So this is the Descendants, Disney Descendants comic book. And they have comic books for everybody. So all kinds of genres. Very, very cute. Again, I'm sad I missed out on the Monster High one. If anybody has an extra Monster High one out there, I would love you for it. This one's Nightmare Before Christmas. So very cute stuff. What else do I have? Spider-Man versus Venom. And you can all see this. They all say for Free Comic Book Day. So, and then another Star Wars Republic Adventures. And then they even, some of them also do like stamp like where you got them from. So Thermo and I usually go to the Glendale Library every year, and they team up with the comic book store next door, Drawn to Comics.
Yeah.
And this is not a Free Comic Book Day comic. This is The Walking Dead. Okay. And then what I got yesterday, so I got Encanto. How cute is that? So obviously, again, things that usually don't have comic books, they make comic books out of. Oh gosh, there we go. A lot of cute little stories for all ages, all peoples. And then the other one I got is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. Who is Night Watcher?
I got one that's like I got the Star Wars comic, and then I got a DC Battle comic, and then there was one about like this new like Hunter Duck thing.
I have a Grumpy Cat one here somewhere. I don't know where that one went. I think I probably stowed
I was gonna
away.
show one more thing from May the 4th yesterday. So apparently, you and Insomnimat were recording me while I was.
Yeah.
I was so afraid of hitting people. Like I didn't go into a full spin because if I do a full spin, I was like, I'm gonna hurt somebody, and I just didn't want to do it. Because the weight of that.
Yeah.
Like,
so the event was the May the 4th party.
Yeah.
Yeah, the May the 4th party was held at the Skysa Lounge on the rooftop of the Westin in Tempe. Again, like Sam was saying, like a lot more places are discovering that, they're discovering that like geeks actually like want to go and do events. So, I mean, that event was fine. It was on the low. I would say it was more on the normie side. Of course, at these events, the area is still open to hotel guests, so they don't close off like the rooftop lounges to hotel guests ever. They're always available. So you'll see a mix of people that pay tickets to go to the party, and then the regular hotel guests. So this was earlier in the day, 6 o'clock. I didn't get there till like 8 o'clock after the sun went down. I feel like they could have done a little more, but it was a good start. Another thing that I do worry about sometimes is that these events just do them for a cash grab. So, the more effort they put into it, the better. They had a selection of Star Wars themed drinks. I cannot even. I wish we took a picture of the menu.
It was the droid oil. It was droid oil. It was
droid oil.
The Banta milk, and then actually, hang on, I can tell you what the other one was. Hang on, let me grab it. I have
the other one I liked, even though others didn't like it. The Bantha oil I think was brandy based. Gosh, the one that I drank was, I know there was like a melon liqueur in it.
Yeah, that was the last one because I couldn't have it because it had a tequila and agave in it, both of which I'm allergic to. Yeah.
Agave.
So it was drink me you must was the one you liked. Droid oil was the brandy based, and then Banta milk was the gin and blue curacao with lemon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so and they were really good. And they were very colorful.
And it was still nice, like weather up top on the rooftop.
The weather was really, really nice.
And it wasn't expensive. It was like $15, I think, and included the one drink. I didn't even know it included a drink, so like that was a nice surprise. So top 25 alien species, because there's how many species in the Star Wars universe, Sam?
Lots.
8 trillion, right?
Let's take a look. Let's ask it. Let me see Wikipedia. Tell me. 20 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 8 trillion was a bit of a stretch,
that have been shown more like a couple hundred, I think.
Cool.
But we've talked a lot about Twi'leks, so you know how to do a Twi'lek if you want to be a cosplayer and you want to cosplay a Twi'lek. The Nagai are the ones that I mentioned where they they look like they're vampires but they're not. And they're really charismatic, so they're not really evil, but they end up becoming a lot of the Sith because people put them in that role and they're like, screw it, we're just not gonna fight it. We're just gonna be Sith. They're usually Sith, assassins, criminals. But they were the ones that I believe assist with making most of the existing advanced technology. And the thing about them is they're very humanoid looking. They are extremely muscular. So if you want to exaggerate your muscles, I recommend like contouring your existing muscles if you're going to be in a guy, or taking those like chicken cutlets for boobs and sticking them to your biceps and making them look bigger. Like you can do stuff like that too.
Like stockings. Yeah, cover your arms in stockings or nylons or something.
Yeah. And then it looks like you've got massive like but the one thing that's most notable about them is they have nearly white skin, and they usually always have red or black eyes. So for them, I don't think it's going to be too complicated to cosplay, especially since their outfits are all over the spectrum. Wookiee, on the other hand, is going to be a bit more difficult to cosplay. If you want to be a Wookiee, most Wookiees are well above 6 feet tall. The children are usually the only ones that are human height. And
I'm going to get my Wookiee.
Easiest way to do this. Wait, was that? Oh, she could water right. So if you want to be a Wookiee,
I'm going to go grab my Wookiee 1 second.
Okay. If you want to be a Wookiee and you want to keep it on a budget, what I highly recommend is getting some cheap rugs from like dollar stores or thrift stores and putting them together, and you could airbrush them or dye them or paint them the color that you want, and you could sew together like a Wookiee suit. And some people will buy these construction stilts, and yeah, Coconut's a Wookiee.
It's my Wookiee. Look, he looks so much like a Wookiee.
But for this, you get a construction stilt, and you could place your own shoe on them. And construction stilts are meant to be walked on for long periods of time, so they're really comfortable. I recommend practicing, but that'd probably be the best way to do it. For facial hair and stuff, there's fake beards and things you could do. You could get a really big fluffy wig and tease it out. So there's ways to do this on a budget. It's just that if you don't want to do it a budget and you want an actual Wookiee suit, you're looking at $2,000, $3,000, $4,000.
Here's my Wookiee. Hi, Coco. Say hi. Shy. Say hi. Look. Hi.
Also, there's some, if you didn't know about the alien species, I put some good to know knowledge on them here. So the Togruta are my second favorite. Well, Twi'leks are like third, then Togruta, and then the other aliens I'll show in here. Togruta are overall pretty humanoid as well. Should be pretty easy to do. They have what's called montrals, which are the big kind of horns that come out, and they have laku as well. They have 2 laku in the front and 1 large one in the back. And overall, you could probably do stockings for this one too, and then just build up some like foam horns and attach everything together, and then just use like leather or paint to try and hide where the seam is.
I did find the headpieces for kids, so I'm just going to share this real quick.
Let me stop.
And then I'll throw yours back on. Let's see. Oh, not my entire screen. So I did find it for kids. So it looks like it's just out of stock, maybe for adults.
From I've seen the children one of this. It's actually kind of big.
So it's latex with a silicone oil coating. Interesting.
And I wear it. I've worn the one that has the oil coatings on the inside and on the outside. So if you latex allergy, it doesn't cause you to react.
Looks like you can get an extra 30% off on these ones. They do have the Twi'lek headpiece for kids. Maybe I have to type it in as this to see. Oh, new markdown. So these are on sale. The hyphen, yeah. Because there's an adult accessory set here too. And what is this made of?
That one's fabric. And that's another thing too. You can make a lot of these out of fabric if you don't want to go with a skin textured one, especially if you need something lightweight because maybe you have neck or shoulder problems.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so let's type Twi'lek with the apostrophe.
They might be out of the adult size.
Okay, so just that looks like it comes up. Just the one.
I will say though, what they call the adult versus what they call the child is not much of a difference. It's the head cap that's just a little bit smaller, and you could just cut the back side of the head cap and make it fit you better.
I might need to try these out.
I have
the adult ones, don't you, Sam?
I have. Yeah, you could borrow it. Because I'm not going to need them anymore now that I have the good ones.
Well, this one's already like 40. Oh, because I'm like, these are $40 with an extra 30% off. Like, I'll give them a shot. And if they don't fit, I'll just, give them away or sell them or something.
Yeah, give it a shot. And then we can get back to you guys and tell you if it fits an adult head.
Well, actually, I have an adult head. I think you have a child's head.
No, that's what I'm saying. We can see if it fits an adult head because we would need to know with you.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
But I would say that the Togruta is probably easier to do than some of the other ones you'd think, because you can just create horns. I've seen people create horns out of foam clay and then tuck the laku underneath, so it looks like they're coming out of the horns, because most Togruta, it looks like their laku is coming out from the hard surface. So that would be a good way to hide wherever your seams are. And then their skin tone varies from orange to nude to pinks, and typically like they're usually white, orange, or red in various shades. Oh, one thing too, Togruta, if they've not been captured by the Jedi Council specifically, sharpen their teeth because they're carnivores, so they're hunters. Then there's Zabrak. Everybody knows they're small. Very humanoid again. They typically, their skin tone is like all over the chart. They all seem to have some form of a tattoo or a pattern. Most of them receive it from their communities at a young age. Some of them are born with it. It's like all over the spectrum, but they all have horns. Most of the females that I've seen don't have as many horns as the male. The male tend to have bigger, longer horns. And almost every single one of them is bald. I don't know if that's a choice, because I've seen Zabrak with hair. So you could do this, but I wonder if it's because the horns affect the hair. Who knows? So you could do this as your normal self and just get the longer horns from Amber Bright, and then you don't even have to worry about doing a bald cap.
Ta-da!
Yeah. You could get like a little headband or some wire, and just like, or even clips. I've seen people glue them onto hair clips and then just clip it in.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Then there's Rhodians. This would be hard. Their fingers, like the rest of the body, is pretty human too. It's just the headpiece would absolutely have to be a mask of some kind. You could, I've seen people, more and more people, and I'm testing this out too. I'm working on a Turian from Mass Effect, and we've been testing out using TPU, which is a flexible 3D print filament, and it moves with your face. So I'm testing out how to joint it to where like I don't have to worry about gluing stuff to myself anymore. I just put on like a balaclava, and I have magnetic points that it connects to, and it still moves naturally. That might be something you could do with this, where you 3D print the mouth part, and then you just have a series of magnets or glue points, and you attach it here, and then you could have goggles that you paint over. So there are ways to get around making it cheaper, but just understand that something like a Rhodian or some of the other aliens that have very exaggerated features, it would probably be a lot more difficult to achieve without some form of mask making. And then their fingers, I don't think would be too hard. I feel like you could just get like longer gloves and add suctions to the bottom of them, and then just stuff them with a little bit more polyfill to make it look less humanoid. Nautiloans are, it's just 8 tentacles. So if you want to buy a bunch of nylon tights and sew them all together and then stuff them, you could be a Nautilin. They do have black eyes, so you probably would need, and it's like a full sclera. Like none of them, you don't ever see their pupils. The full sclera. So you probably need to buy scleras or be willing to wear goggles. I know that Amber Bright Props does a Nautilin, and what she does is she wears goggles, and then she has makeup along the edges that makes it look like she's got jewelry on her face, so that you don't realize that there is actually an adhesion line, and that might be a good idea. Or if you're comfortable with it, you could just, like I said, buy scleras and then use tights and then have some kind of jewelry or leather piece to hide where the seam is. So these are another one that would be pretty easy. The hands for males are more exaggerated. They have like larger claws, but there's a lot of existing like Party City and Costume City places that sell those exaggerated claws, and I don't think it would be too difficult to like put on a pair of gloves that are like green in color. The Nautilins are like all the color of the rainbow, I like all over the place, so you could be like any color. They're frequently green, but they're all the color of the rainbow.
Ooh, I found her
So it'd be
Nautilin.
pretty cool.
Oh, her Nautilin's Amanda.
Yeah.
There's one here of her with the helmet on. Yeah, I got it. Dun, 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 dun. So this is her with her helmet on, and looks like you can see that she's like made the improvements here and there, and she's even got like details on hers, like the scale look and everything, and she's added jewelry to it.
Yeah, she started adding freckles and stuff to it to make it more amphibian.
If we go up, there's another one of her here without. And
that's where she just used jewelry to hide the seam.
Yep. And that's really cool. She's added that into the headpiece, right?
And I know someone that took like the pool noodles and they shaved them down and did something similar to this. They're not as flexible, but that works too.
That's cool. So here she is with Ceremony as a Twi'lek. So this is a really cool, like, her Nautilin's really cool. Her Nautilin Mando is like one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Awesome.
So there we go.
I mean, I'm just gonna say good luck. I don't even know where to start with this dude. Like, I guess your head could be back in this place back here. Like, someone's head could be in the back where the shoulder area is, and you could have like a mask attached and have like a kind of what they do with like Disney characters where they come out and they've got, you don't see it, but there's a hidden panel that they can see through and watch through, like a mesh panel. You could do that with this, or they can just have the whole headpiece come up.
Like make it through the teeth. You can make visual.
Yeah. But I feel like this would have to be an absolute, like, there's no humanoid aspect of this. They have stilt legs. Their legs don't even really bend. But the Authorians are the ones that make me laugh the most because they sound like they're farting when they talk. They're like, and it's just like,
I mean, they have like the basic body. They have like a torso, legs, and arms.
Yeah, but like they're not really cool, they're like they're Yeah. This would be a lot of work. If you wanted to do something like this and you weren't a crafter or a maker, you're probably looking at $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 to get everything done, just because it would be a full suit or series of parts that you'd have to get into. But this would be super cool. I'm sorry, if I saw someone walking around like this at a con, I would lose my crap. I'd be like, oh my god, it's an Authorian. I think they're interesting. Again, they speak through these like little side things, like they're like little side gills with
I feel like
vibrations.
through the feet you could make like kind of like boot covers, so they just be like wider than your normal feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, this headpiece is like,
I guess you could get
yeah.
goth platform shoes and fit them
Oh
inside
yeah,
and just build around those because those platform shoes are pretty blocky and you could build around that.
I'm Googling a Thorian cosplay right now.
Is there an Thorian cosplay? I don't think I've ever seen one. Jawas are easy, man. You just get a ski mask and you get some yellow goggles and a brown robe and you're set. You're a Jawa. Like this is probably the easiest Star Wars cosplay to do.
I found an Thorian.
Okay, we gotta show you guys. Let's go back. Here's the Thorian. Just to remind you guys, this is what a Thorian looks like. Let's go. Okay, share. I'm so curious to see.
Shoot. I clicked on his actual. Oh, okay, here. So this is who is this?
They're making like a full suit.
I want to try and give credit from 2016. And this is his
picture.
That's so
cool. How do they? Oh, so yeah. So you see it right underneath his. Yeah, he's got the mesh there, but I feel like if you were shorter too, you could do it right underneath the neck where the black is and have mesh there too to see through. Oh, and there's a chest. Admiral Thrawn. That's what I'm trying to do is a Fen Thrawn. So that's so cool. I thought I want to make it a Thorian. So
sculpted out of clay. Wow, look at that. So he's got a lot of like, wow, a lot of in progress pics. That is gorgeous. Looks like he sculpted it out of regular clay. That must be heavy.
It's monster clay. It's a wax-based clay. And you heat it up and then it hardens very hard unless you heat it up.
Wow, very cool. So I'm gonna throw this link in the chat. Oh, so he's got a little model.
So if you want to make a Thorian, just follow this tutorial.
Let me try. Yeah, I'm trying to see if he has any like other links, but I'll just link this in the chat because this looks like some sort of forum. But I'll try and work and see where I can actually find his actual like links,
so cool.
So we can give him proper.
That's so cool. Then, but like I said, I mentioned Jawa. If you want to do a Star Wars cosplay, this is probably this or just a Jedi would probably be easiest. Jedi, they sell robes everywhere. You actually could just buy a Jedi like cloak and then add a zipper to the front of it, and that would essentially be what a Jawa wears. And it's just black gloves, tennis shoes, and a black ski mask or some kind of mesh, like a Zentai headpiece with glowing goggles. So easy. Did you know that they're rodents? If you didn't know, they're rodents. They're like rats. And the reason they cover everything up is because they're super sensitive to light.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, they basically were like they would go on ships and like hide on ships, and they just happen to end up all over the universe. They're like the pigeons of Star Wars. Then there's the Kaminoans. I feel like this would be
found this guy's Instagram.
For Kaminoans, I feel like this would be another one where like you'd have to build your head out in the chest area because the neck is so long. But overall, they're pretty humanoid. They just have digitigrade feet. This is another human one. I don't believe they exist anymore. I think they all died, which is really sad. Because of the Empire using them to make like drugs and stuff. And they just were wiped out of the galaxy. They were really cool though. They had a very interesting culture up until the Empire encouraged over industrialization for the development of drugs and technology, and their homeworld leaders were very corrupt and we're like, okay, we'll take all the money and not help our people. But they were very human, and they had these kind of eye stalks, or they weren't even eye stalks. They were like these like sensitive stalks that came out. They were supposed to be ears, but overall they were very humanoid. They just had a more exaggerated brow line.
So I threw in the chat there the link to that Thorian cosplayer.
Yeah.
Looks like the only available link was Instagram. So he does sculpt stuff. So that's really cool. So check that out. Okay. Coolio.
Again, we've got another humanoid. I think with what most people may or may not know is Star Wars overall didn't have a whole big budget in the beginning. And even so, like over time, they've had to really start, like it's only been in the past decade, 2 decades or so that they've had a much larger budget than they originally started with. So most of the creatures that you see on film are humanoid, but most of the creatures you see and like read about in the books or see in the comics are very alien, which I think was interesting. And the pawn are they just have I feel like they just have exaggerated craniums, like their head just comes up a little taller and it's like a little skinnier. But they're wouldn't be too hard. The one thing you can't see in this picture is that they have indentations on their skin. It's almost like horizontal pinstripes on their skin that indent in. So if you wanted to do something like that, you could use what do I use frequently for my scarring liquid? Why am I forgetting what it's called? Anyways, you could use the scarring liquid and you could build
Rigid
those
collodion?
lines. Yeah, rigid collodion. You can use that to build the lines, or you could even do the opposite and build up scars to make it look like it's indented to have like a more exaggerated shape. Chagrians, once again, I feel like Star Wars is obsessed with like Laku or something that looks like a Laku. This one's easy though, because I feel like this one's a lot simpler. It's supposed to be lumpy, so you wouldn't have to worry about smoothing it out like you would with a Nautilin or a Togruta or a Twi'lek. It's supposed to be very lumpy. They do have these like cool at the bottom of it. There are these spikes that come out. They're really frequently seen in the Rebels areas. Like they were, I think they're aquatic, and they were very big on like balance and justice. So, almost only blue and purple in color, and they're really really cool. But this might be a fun one because it's very humanoid. They just have these two really chubby looking like Leku come around that you can make super lumpy. That might be kind of fun.
I feel like
Be cool
that'd
to
be
like
more
stuff it with like
pressure.
those cheap plastic rubber balls.
Oh well, yeah, maybe. I was like, maybe you'd be like more pressure to like make sure that like the lumpiness was like intentional, or you
Well, I
could
think it would
just
just
use
be
your
like
failed
polyfill.
Leku.
Yeah, polyfill, and then you stick like styrofoam balls or rubber balls in it
No,
to
you're
create
right.
that like lumpy look.
Yeah, for sure. Chagrian. There's got to be cosplayers for all of these. Like people are like they're thinking, I got to do that, you know. So here I am googling all of these cosplays. Anyway, keep
Finding
going.
a Chagrian cosplayer.
Not yet. So keep moving. Let's keep moving.
We'll move on. We have the moon. Again, very humanoid, but they're super, super tall. They live really long. They have lifespans similar to what like Yoda's species is. Really, really long lifespans. They're kind of known as like the bankers of the universe. I
They
believe
remind me
this is the race
of
that
what is the name of that race in Mass Effect? The one that sings your ringtone.
the
What are
Solarians.
those?
Yeah, they kind of look like a Solarian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like So Solarians are the Star Wars Mun ripoff.
Yeah. But they the moon I believe this is the race that Darth Plagueis. Yeah, Plagueis did come from that. Okay. And they're just really they're not known to have good morals because they're all about making money. So money by any means. But they're very long, lean, and they have a very exaggerated head and nose. So that might be a little bit trickier where like maybe you wear a mask to hide your eyes and have fake eyes sit on your eyebrows to make it look like it's lifted up more. But overall, I don't think it's too complicated. It would just require some sculpting and some foam for exaggeration. So we're pretty much at 1 o'clock here. There's a lot more aliens in Star Wars. If you're ever interested, you could always join me at one of my Star Wars panels at one of the conventions that we go to. For now, why don't we go ahead and do our wrap up? I'm Thermo. I have been, just find me at thermocosplay.com. I'll be at Phoenix Fan Fusion at the end of this month. I am helping with an anime red carpet host, doing a demo on the cosplay planner by Cosgear, and then also doing a retro anime panel. And then I'm also, Amber Skies and I are going to be hosting the kids youth contest on Sunday. So be pretty busy, but I'll be there and see you guys all there.
Yeah, I'm Jinx. You can find me at jinxcosplay.com or on socials at the Jinx Cosplay. I will be at Phoenix Fan Fusion with the Final Fantasy cosplay group, Fantasy Squared. I'll be doing a how to pose for cosplay photography panel with Amber Bright props and mission control photos. That's for both cosplayers and photographers. So please come and check it out. And I'm also will be helping and hosting the skit contest. Enter the skit contest. Yeah, and then you can find us at Cost Talk dash live, live.com, and socials at Cost Talk Live. Check out our sponsor, Age of Radio Podcast Network. Shout out to you guys, and eventually we'll get our show up there on a podcast version. We do have a craft stream. When's our craft stream, Sam?
So the craft stream is on, hang on a second. Let me double check the day real fast because I think I know, but give me one moment, guys. Let me double check the day.
It is a Wednesday.
Yeah, okay. So we're doing it May 15th. It's gonna be, I just wanted, I thought it was the 15th. I was double checking. So it's Wednesday, May 15th at 6:30 p.m.
And then I also I'm just throwing this at you now, Sam, but I also do want to do an end of like ANHPI Heritage cosplay. If you guys didn't know, like May is considered Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander. So AANHPI, I know it's very long, Heritage Month. And I've started a hashtag AANHPI Cosplay Month, which isn't being used. So I'd love you guys to share this. Check out my Instagram. I'm sharing like AANHPI cosplayers, primarily from Arizona, but I've been getting lots of submissions. So I'm just going to share everybody. So check it out. I'll do a wrap up at the end of the month. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Coolio.
Yep. Have a good Sunday, everyone. Bye.